All right, so as you're here in Iceland and you're talking with people about industry and you're here representing Canada's potential geothermal industry, what are some of the things you're thinking about and some of the issues that are coming up while you're here?
You know, I think the really important thing is to address that people think that geothermal is risky. We've heard from a number of international presenters today talk about the perceived risk is being overstated, that there has been a lot of wells drilled around the world, and of course a country like Canada, we know how to address risk. Risk is not a showstopper, it's something that we manage, and we do that by using technology. But I think the biggest thing that you hear besides risk about geothermal is that, oh, it must cost so much. And I really want to push back, and I want to push back hard about that, because here's the story that people need to hear. If you're talking about geothermal electricity compared to both conventional fossil fueled or other renewables, our $1 of capital invested will give you power. And of course our power is 24/7, we're baseload, we have a higher uptime than even nuclear or coal plants. But that same dollar now is giving you power, that same dollar is also going to give you heat. And so if you are using conventional fuels, you typically then also have to spend another dollar and building heat, be that to your home or through a district heating system. And so right away you get a 2-for-1. But there's a third component, and that's what you do with that heat, especially in northern and remote communities, or even now all across Canada, especially with the drought in California because of perhaps climate change, or just people wanting organic, local and fresh food, and a variety of food that they can use in the winter that they don't have to import. And so growing food in greenhouses is really what we've been focusing on here in Iceland. And we saw fresh strawberries I enjoyed today, bananas, cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes. All of these things are available to Canadians as well. Iceland is north of us, and they have less daylight than we do in the summer and the winter times. And this is just a real plus for us. We could combine geothermal with solar panels. We could certainly, again, for that $1 invested, have, I think, 4 things. Again, starting with power, moving on to heat, using that heat for greenhouses, which is local food security, and then jobs. I think it sounds crazy to some people, but when you really think about how many jobs that $1 investment created, it's quite a lot. So using US DOE, Department of Energy statistics, comparing a natural gas power plant to a geothermal power plant, both at the same size, there are 17 times more jobs created by using a geothermal power plant than using a natural gas power plant for the same price of power. And our power plants will give you power, heat, food, all those extra jobs, which of course is a GDP boost for the country, local taxes, investment, indirect jobs. It really is everything. And we'd like to bring this technology to Canada. I don't even like using the word technology because of course the rest of the world is already doing it. I think we can even do it better because we have all this drilling and experience in Canada. However, we need to start. And what we're offering is a community-supported project that can do all those things: power, heat, local food security, and jobs. What's not to love?
That's great. I'll just ask you one more question. What really tell me how excited you are about geothermal. I want to convey that, to the people who are going to be watching this, to see the sense of this is a solution that is viable, that we have at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm. For me, I've been literally getting up every morning for the past 12 years. I'm a bit of a pioneer or veteran at the very least for geothermal in Canada, and my enthusiasm continues to grow. There's not a day that goes by that I too don't learn something new. And so when I come to a conference like Iceland, even though I've been here before, there's constantly something new around the next corner. And right now they've moved into using high-tech things. So again, we talked before about power and heat and food and jobs, and now they're using geothermal elements, so lithium to go into the cell phone that's taping this interview right now, or into high-tech computing. There's other elements in the geothermal brine that can be used for all kinds of our high-tech economy. And it really is a very futuristic idea to be getting as many uses out of that same dollar of investment. And so I think that the potential for geothermal in Canada is enormous, given that we have favorability maps for Alberta and BC and the Yukon and even Northwest Territories. We know where the resources are, we know how to do this, we can actually add value, and we just need to get moving on it. And I know that the 21 Canadians have come with me to Iceland. Beyond the Icelanders themselves, that the Canadian delegation is the largest here. I know that Canadians want to do this as well, and it's personally exciting for me to every day surround myself with more and more advocates for geothermal, and they are powerful.
Awesome.